media briefing on 6 July 2025, you talked about protocol, which means following official channels. I'm more curious about the dress code on the day and the fact that people who appeared were armed. Just give us a general picture. Is that normally how your team dresses? Why were they dressed that way on the day?
Although we have to now display our tactical strategies in public, but commissioners, as we're investigating and this picture coming together, then we start realizing that we now have to move from being a service provider to society to becoming a force in order for us to prevent the Ecuadors and the Mexicos to happen in this country. Because the threat, the enemy that we saw that is infiltrating crime intelligence, is infiltrating parliament, and is controlling our executive authority and going into the heart of the police operations, which is investigation. To date, I'm speaking to you, the Matlalas and the likes, if you go and see the record of cases withdrawn against Matlala, more than 18 here in this province. And you would really realize that you can no longer wear a tie and face this fight. So this is a fight that requires, for one, to apply the tactics that is learned over years. And one had to draw on experience I had in the task force of saying, how do you deal with a terrorist? And because as I see it now, I think this is terrorism. This is people who want to take over government, not through the ballot paper, but through these criminal activities. We must protect those who go to the voting station. Political parties exercise their rights, they vote, they appoint government. But if government is going to be taken in this fashion, it cannot happen under our name. So it's for that reason that we wanted to communicate a message to South Africa that we are ready, and communicate a message to this drug squad, politicians, the executive, police officers within law enforcement agencies that we're ready for them. I said when I presented earlier, I knew that I've got a target on my back. So for me, maybe you'll forgive me in saying this as a Zulu man. So I wanted to make sure that they get a message that
I don't sneak up on a person. I face them directly.
So Commissioner, we were pushed to the corner that for us to counter this, what is happening, let's draw attention of South Africa for them to realize the battle that we're about to face. And it is a battle, I must say, as I said, when we put that screen, that they are so-called experts, they are so-called forensic investigators, they are so-called journalists. There's a whole lot of people that are spreading news, feeding the narrative that has been perpetuated by these people internal. We have people in the organization that when a case is open, they take the docket and they keep it in their office and they don't investigate it. And we have evidence for that. The Deputy Provincial Commissioner Gauteng can be called into this commission. He will tell you the list of all these dockets that were opened. There's one of them, it's a kidnapped person which is allegedly Matlala is involved. That docket was in Gauteng, but an instruction came from the head office, the JRSB's office, that we want that case docket. That docket is sitting in the head office. The mother of the kidnapped son, or the missing son, even contacted me because she can't find closure. And now we begin to see that who are people implicated, the Matlalas, and these investigations have been suppressed. We therefore cannot sit back, commissioners. We must take off our palaberam shoes and take off our blue uniform and wear boots and go and face the enemy directly.
Welcome back to SA Political Lens. Sarah, that July 6th briefing by Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi is still sparking conversations. He came out in full tactical gear, flanked by armed officers, and then dropped some of the most serious claims we've heard about threats to police work in KwaZulu-Natal.
Exactly, John. And he told the Madlanga Commission later that the gear wasn't theatre. It was meant to show the political killings task team is no longer just a service provider. It's a tactical unit prepared for war, if that's what it takes to stop assassinations. He warned that syndicates, politicians, even some officials inside government have seeped into crime intelligence and are targeting investigators.
That's a big statement, but what really caught attention was how quickly some critics latched onto the outfit instead of the allegations. Paul O'Sullivan, for instance, argued the commissioner's look was over the top. Fair enough if you're debating protocol, but the timing, right as Mkhwanazi prepared to spell out evidence about dangerous syndicates, raised eyebrows.
And there's the context that O'Sullivan has a long professional association with Lieutenant General Shadrack Sibia. Nothing illegal has been shown about that link, but it does explain why people are saying, put all interests on the table so we know whether the criticism is about optics or something deeper.
Right, because while style points matter, the substance here is Mkhwanazi's claim that criminal networks and compromised insiders are going after core police work. That deserves as much scrutiny as the commissioner's wardrobe.
Exactly. And if the Commission can get all the documents, sworn testimony and hard evidence, South Africans will have a clearer picture of who's protecting investigations and who might be distracting from them.
That's the heart of it, transparency on all sides. Whatever your view of Mkhwanazi's tactical look, the real test is whether the claims about infiltration stand up, and whether any critic can back their objections with facts, not just headlines.
Well said, John. And that's why we'll keep watching how this plays out, because when policing meets politics, the truth only survives if we keep the focus on evidence.
That's it for tonight's SA Political Lens. Stay informed, stay questioning, and remember, accountability lives in proof, not opinion.
Opinions that are making allegations against me in public, I invite them to come here, commissioners, and sit in this chair and present and give me an opportunity to come back and respond to allegations. I'm going nowhere.
Thank you, General. Yes, ma'am. Commissioner?
General, just to go back to what you say about the relationship between General Sibia and Mr. O'Sullivan, you say it's in the public domain, certainly not to some of us. Lest it be what you've said, lest it be understood, if that was not your intention, to mean there is an improper relationship. Perhaps if you could just say a little bit more about this relationship. Are they familial? Is it professional? What in fact is this relationship you're speaking of?
Commissioner, I cannot talk about the nature of the relationship between the two of them. What I know is what Gerald Sibia told me personally, that Paul O'Sullivan is his friend. He said it with his own words to me. That's why I'm saying, on me going to the media addressing the nation on the 6th, then Paul O'Sullivan went into the media and accused me. Instead of listening to the message I'm delivering and cause these allegations I'm making to be investigated, he didn't bother. He just fired back almost immediately. So that made me realize that in Zulu will say, so I like to believe that perhaps this what I was alleging there somehow links him somehow.
I've not been sworn in to interpret.
Thank you, Chair. That brings us to the end of General Mkhwanazi's testimony at this leg of the Commission.